Always and Forever A Team Umizoomi, Good Bedtime Stories for Children. Today we have a book named Always and Forever A Team Umizoomi, Good Bedtime Stories for Children. I think they're so pretty. I hope you guys really enjoy it. I love it. Please give this video a like if you enjoy it, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories. Thank you, reading. So, here we go. Bot was always there for Millie and Geo. Bot was there when Millie was born. As her mother held her in her arms, Millie opened her bright little green eyes and cooed at the robot, which warmed Bot's metal heart. He then watched as little Millie held up her little hand towards her father and grabbed his finger, lifting him up in the air. "Great gizmos, you're awfully strong for such a tiny thing." "Yes, you are." And with that, Bo tickled Millie's chin as she lowered Kilo down to the ground. Bo was there when a harpy broke into headquarters one night. She swooped in to try and snatch little Millie, but Bot extended his arms and caught her just in time, and then comforted her when she had a scare. After he and her parents chased the harpy away, they feared that their superhero status was putting Millie in danger. So, the very next day, they stepped down from the League of Umi Heroes, packed up their things, and ventured outside of Umi City. They traveled for 3 days before finding an abandoned cottage in the woods, just outside of the city. On the first night, Millie couldn't sleep, being unfamiliar with the new room, so Bot took her outside to the porch. The soft, gentle breeze calmed Millie down, and she fell asleep in the green robot's arms. As Bot carried her back into the house, Millie mumbled, "Ba, ba." Spot knew she was trying to say. Bot was there when Geo was born. Kilo had brought Bo and Millie into Tara's room to meet the new baby. Lying inside the bassinet next to his mother's bed, Geo lay his little brown eyes on the green robot and held up his arm. Bot picked him up and waved hello to him, and little Geo waved back at him. Then Bot brought Geo over to meet his big sister, who sat on her daddy's lap. Very carefully, Bot handed Geo over to Millie. "Baby," the little girl said softly. She kissed Geo on the forehead and Geo cooed. Tara and Kilo looked at their 2 kids and Ba. "This looks like the beginning of a beautiful friendship," Tara thought. And indeed, it was a beautiful friendship. Ba was there to help Tara and Kilo care for their kid. He taught Millie how to be a good big sister to Geo. He played with them in the backyard. He read them stories at bedtime. Of course, none of the grown-ups could prepare for the awakening of their powers. As a toddler, Millie would often throw some temper tantrums, whatever it was, refusing to eat her vegetables or getting cranky during nap time. And whenever she made a fuss, her pigtails would spin out of control, breaking things. Bot was there to calm her down whenever she got upset. When he started crawling, Geo began picking up random things in the house and making little toys out of them. Bot was there to make sure he only picked the things that were safe for him, like the soft shapes he liked playing with. As unpredictable was for their powers to appear, nothing could compare to the events that would happen next. A week before Geo's first birthday, Tara and Kilo received an unexpected phone call from one of their old colleagues. A new dangerous supervillain was lurking around Umi City, and many of the League of Umi Heroes had died. He had asked the 2 return to Umi City and stop this crazy bad guy. Reluctantly, they agreed. They hate to leave their kids, but over the years they form a family with the League. They packed up their bags, and the next day they were ready to leave. Bot assured his friends that his kids were in perfectly good and metal hands. Tara kissed her babies goodbye, telling them that they'll see them soon. Bode and the kids watched sadly as Tara and Kilo walked out the door, waving goodbye. That was the last time they ever saw them. Days passed, and Bot haven't heard anything from his two best friends. Bo waited and waited to hear back from Tara and Kilo. On Gio's birthday, he got a phone call from one of his old allies, who explained to him that Tara and Kilo was blasted by the villain's powers. All that was left behind was Tara's earth staff. Bot was distraught by the loss of his friend. They saw something in him when he first met them and made him into the robot that he is today. Despite his grief, Bot realized that their kids are going to need him more than ever. Wiping away the tears in his eyes, he brought Gio's birthday cake into the kitchen. As he watched little Gio blow out candle, Bot wished him and his sister the best. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned months. Before they knew, nearly a year had passed since the day the parents left. It wasn't easy raising two toddlers with superpowers, but Bot managed to pull through. As Millie and Gio got older, they gained better control of their powers and started developing their love for math. Millie was particularly fond with patterns, while Gio loved playing with shapes. Bot watched fondly as the sibling developed their math skills, while silently wishing that their parents could watch them grow up. It was pretty difficult to cope with the loss of his dear friends. Millie would often ask where her mommy and daddy is, and Bot would often try to steer her away from the topic. He knew that he eventually have to tell her and Gio the truth, but now just isn't the time. On one particular night, Bot was walking by the kids' shared bedroom when he saw Millie sitting on her bed, curled up into a ball and silently crying. Bot decided to go inside and see what's the matter. "Millie, are you okay?" Bot asked the little girl. He whispered softly enough not to wake Gio sleeping next to her in his crib, but loud enough for Millie to hear. Millie looked up to see the kind green robot and wept. "Mill, we had bad dream." Bot wiped away a tear escaping from her eye and scooped up the red-haired toddler in his arm. "Don't cry, Millie. Don't cry," Bot said in a soothing voice as he stroked her hair. "It's okay. Bot's here." Within each stroke, Millie grew calmer and calmer in her robotic caregiver's arm. Soon, her cries reduced to little sniffles. She then began explaining to Bot what that nightmare was about. "Two nice grown-ups got pulled inside a strange scary circle," she sniffed. "They were very scared." "Great gizmos," Bot exclaimed quietly. "They were swangers," Millie continued. "But they looked like grown-ups Mill we saw before." For a moment, Bot was lost in thought. Grown-ups that she saw before, they'd been visited by the big humans before, but the only grown-ups that were really around Millie and Gio besides himself were their parent. Suppose that little dream Millie was real. Could it be possible that those people were actually a Team Umizoomi? No, Bot thought to himself, continuing to stroke Millie's hair. It couldn't be them. This isn't even about them right now. "It's okay now, Millie," he whispered to her. "It was only a dream. There's naught to be afraid of." Even though she wasn't quite sure it was dream, Millie felt better knowing that Bot was there. The green robot then tucked her back into bed and offered to stay with her until she falls back asleep, which she happily agreed to, though Bot had to remind to keep quiet so she doesn't wake up her brother. As he held her hand, Millie said sleepily, "You, Daddy?" "I love you too," a surprised Bot whispered back to her as she slowly drifted off to sleep. The little green robot stood there for a minute. Daddy. He never actually considered himself to be more of an uncle than a father. Probably because Kilo was actually their father, not Bo. But with him and Tara gone for over a year, Bot sighed as he left the bedroom. He took one more look at the sleeping siblings and smiled. As he closed the door, he made a silent promise. "I will be there for you guys, for always and forever." The end. Good job, friends. Thank you so much for reading with me. Bye, I'll see you next time.